And you're all set, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, James. Okay, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. I am going to call to order the regular meeting of the annual Reynolds School Project Building Committee. It's October 7th, and I believe it is 5:20. Jeff, would you like to do the roll call? You're muted, Jeff.
Members are asked to signify their presence when the name is called. Mr. Camillo, Mr. Minor, Mr. Sylvia, Ms. Stam,
Here.
Ms. Dugan,
Here.
Mr. Wetzel,
Here.
Mr. Woods.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you, Jeff. The next item is public participation. I don't think we have anybody.
Nobody with us at this time.
We do not. Okay, so we'll move on. Take action on prior meeting minutes. I believe it is the meeting of,
It is September 2nd.
yep, September 2nd. Someone like to make a motion that we accept the minutes as written?
I make a motion that we accept the minutes as written.
Okay, so
I'll second.
Carol's made the motion, Jeremy has seconded it. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next item is discuss and take action on reconciliation of estimates. Marnie, is that going to be you, Tom? Who are we gonna? Who's going to walk us through that?
I would think that would be Tom.
That's what I thought. Mr. DeMauro?
Okay, the estimate has been reconciled. So if we want to know the value, I mean, we ended up, I think we showed the estimate last time. So we're under the grant amount with the total estimate by $64,727. And when we reconciled with PMC, we're about 4% difference between us and PMC, which is pretty normal for this at this stage of the game.
Yeah, and I would agree. It's still pretty early. So there really hasn't been much movement, Tom, correct, from the last time we talked. That was the spread, wasn't it? Last
Correct.
time?
Yeah, we had that reconciliation complete. Actually, on the trade cost, it's like 3%. So it's really pretty close.
Okay. Any questions for Tom? I got just kind of a rehashing, and this is on the conceptual design estimate, correct?
Yes.
Not develop. You were working on
schematic
development
design.
Schematic design. Sorry. Yeah. Schematic design. Any questions?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I think this is the opportunity for the committee to take action on this estimate if you so wish.
Okay, I was just going to ask you, Jeff, we will need to take action on this, correct? That we accept the estimate?
Actually, you do not have to take action, but if you wish to accept it, this is your opportunity to do so.
Okay. So unless I hear any objection from any of the other members, we will move to accept this reconciliation of the estimates on the schematic design, which I believe enables officially for them to kick off into design development, which is they're well into right now, to the point where I believe the project is done. And I think that Tom has just said that they're working on the next set of estimates that are going to dive us in a little bit deeper. Probably go from 30 pages to 45, 50, 60 pages, 70 pages of documents. So you get it in a little closer.
My recollection is you actually didn't vote on if you want to combine this with an acceptance of the SD documents, because I don't think you voted at the last meeting.
We didn't. I don't think, unless the state needs it, the town doesn't need it. I think the next time we need approval is when we have construction documents. We need to bring those to the board, and then to the council before we go out to bid. So unless you think the state needs it for a reason, I don't see the need, Tom.
Okay.
Okay.
This is Jennifer. I'm sorry
Yep.
to cut in there. I guess I would appreciate from Council Booz's side that some acknowledgement that that there was acceptance of schematic design so that we, formally could go into. I know we're a little late on that, but we've already completed design development, which was going to be part of my report. But it'd be nice to know that there's some formal acceptance of the schematic design, that there was nothing that was alarming or unacceptable about what has been presented to you thus far. I don't know if you're willing to, take such an action to approve schematic design, but.
You know what, we'll just do that, Jennifer. It'll make it
Okay.
easier for everybody. Okay, so I would
Thank you.
entertain a motion that we accept the schematic design as presented by Council Booz to this committee for approval.
Second,
No, move it, Cindy.
move it, whatever you're supposed to do, do it.
Yeah, and now I need a seconder.
Second,
Okay, seconded by Carol. Any discussion? Again, this is really more of a formality.
Yes.
Yes, anybody, somebody speaking up or no? No? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay. Next is discuss and take action on a recommendation of the town council for 8-24. Again, for anyone that doesn't know, anytime the town does any sort of significant change on a piece of property or building, that has to be referred to the Planning and Zoning Commission. That is done through a process where we will ask the town council to take this on to their agenda at their next meeting and refer it to Planning and Zoning for an 8-24 referral back to them. Again, I think it's just a formality, but it's something that needs to be done. And this one, I know that the state needs to have done for us to continue moving forward with the project. So I get, Jeff, we would need a formal motion to request that the town council refers this to town planning and zoning for an 8-24 referral. I think you were unmuted there. Now you're muted, Jeff. You're still muted.
It's my understanding that the town council has already started on this process but you need to make a recommendation to them in the event that they are unable to finish prior to disbanding. So it would be appropriate for you to do that. And it is a part of the building committee ordinance that it's required to go to the TPZ for 8-24 referral.
Okay, so again, I'll someone would move that we make a recommendation to the town council for an 8-24 referral to town planning and zoning for Reynolds school renovation.
So moved.
That's correct.
Moved by Jeremy Wetzel.
Second,
Second by Cindy Stam. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Didn't think so. Motion passes unanimously. Next, architect's update. Jennifer, and Paul. Good afternoon, Paul.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
I'm gonna call you guys the little people now.
Sorry about that. We're
It's okay.
working on it.
We have to have some humor.
So as I briefly mentioned, we did finish our design development package and that was on September 30th. We sent that over to the school district electronically, and Steve Woods also received that electronically, and Jeff Barron. So that consisted of 2 volumes of drawings covering all aspects, the architecturals, and this time we have mechanical, electrical, plumbing, fire protection, Security drawings previously in schematic design, those we had narratives. But in this design development package, there are drawings now for those disciplines. And we also have 2 volumes of specifications as well that are a part of that. So there's a lot more information this time around in detail. Those have also been provided to our cost estimator and to Newfield Construction for their next cost estimate and for their use in figuring out phasing as well. So in this next, in order for us to accommodate the schedule, have a condensed schedule to get to bid as early as possible, we actually are continuing to move into construction documents and detail things further, further coordination, all of that, while our estimator and Newfield Construction is doing their estimate on the design development drawings. That estimate is due about the end of October, and there will be reconciliation with that estimate as well, and that will be presented to you. In this past, because it has been some time since we met, a little over a month, there have been a lot of meetings to get us to where we're at today. So I'm just going to update you on some things that have been going on. We did provide an overview and an update and share proposed plans with some town staff. So the town planner was involved. A variety of people. We had the health official, building official, fire marshal, but it was quite a large meeting in which we generally weren't going through detail, but wanted to give everybody an update and overview, give them an idea of timeline and where things were at in the process. So they've pretty much seen the the high level version of what we planned for on the site with circulation, and really briefly touched on the building. Just a presentation similar to what you've seen in the past. We are participating in phasing meetings with the school district to understand, again, swing space and how construction would move around the site and in the school. And we participate in those meetings also with Newfield Construction, and we're having meetings with our whole design team about some of those phasing challenges and issues. We've been having focused meetings with the Anna Reynolds staff to discuss room layouts specifically, trying to get consensus by grade level for making sure that we have a layout that works for each grade level. And the amount of storage, what kind of storage, how where their instruction happens in their room, things like that. So we've been having those meetings. That's going well. We do have some revisions to make based on those meetings. So there are some follow-ups with certain staff. We also recently met with the police chief and fire marshal to go over a little bit more in detail what's going on around the site, the same site circulation you've seen, but we wanted to get their input to understand from their point of view, first responders, fire department access, and any security concerns that they may have. Nothing, things have been very favorable with so far with everybody we've met with to discuss site circulation and what the plans are. So we've been taking some, doing some minor tweaks to help things out. We also met with the transportation department to go over site circulation too, and made some minor adjustments. But we're still good with our with parking count that we've shown previously, was working out well, and still maintaining the site circulation, bus loops, and parent drop off. So it's just more detail than anything, not really changes. Met with the school district about classroom technology, what they were planning on for instruction, what needed to be fixed in the room, what kind of power data and connections were needed. We met with the district to finalize the kitchen layout, any new equipment needs that they had, and what the arrangement would be. We have improvements planned in there, so that's looking good. We met with Eversource to talk about further electrical work that's planned. We are using the 2000 amp service that was recently brought on site this past summer, but we are also providing an additional 800 amps at a 480 service that will be going in. That does require an additional transformer, so you will see that on our next site plan that we're going to show to you. So a new transformer right next to the existing transformer. But it seems to work out pretty well to maintain the 2000 amp service that you have. And then that new 480 would primarily be for mechanical equipment and a bit of lighting too. We met with, actually today we had a security meeting. So we were talking more in detail about access control in and around the school and other features such as the secure vestibule and just, trying to make sure that we're hitting the points that the state has recommended and make sure that it works well for the users, the staff and the students to be in and around the school and have access to what they need, but try to make it as safe as possible. We met with the Office of School Construction Grants and Review. So that's the Connecticut, state offices that we meet with it was a schematic design review and conceptual design review, they call it. So we ran through where we were, shared the plans with them, the schematic design plans, and they don't give so much feedback on design, but there are a lot of documentation that they'll need along the way. So we just shared where we were. We had some documents to provide to them. They are helping us look at the concept for a space waiver. So we're still actively working on a space waiver. They said they were going to review where we were at right now with some of the things that we thought would work, that they would accept for a space waiver so that we could try to get 100% of the square footage reimbursed at your reimbursement rate. But I'm still waiting to hear back from them. I will be checking in with the state again because they haven't really responded to me unless they've responded to the superintendent. I can't say for sure. Next, we are preparing a presentation to Planning and Zoning and a submission to the Conservation Commission. Those are anticipated in November. So that's a long list of what's been going on here. Are there any questions?
Any questions for Jennifer? No, it looks like you guys have been very busy. I appreciate the due diligence and move forward. I think it's real important that we hit the streets with a bid packet as early as we can, so we can take advantage of that spring bidding season. I think it will be to our benefit to hit it, even if it's with this first phase of the project. Hopefully there'll be some significant savings there on bid day. That could really help us. Typically there is, but again, we're living in a very strange world right now. So
Yes, it is.
Great.
Mhm.
yeah, and I'm sure everybody's experiencing all kinds of setbacks and delays, and but I don't know. It does seem to be getting a little bit better with some things, and some things seem to be getting worse. But if nobody has any questions for Jennifer, looks quiet. I'm going to move on to the owner's project manager update. I know Marnie and I believe Jim is also on the call now, but Marnie.
Yeah, hi,
I know there's a
everybody.
couple-
Thanks. Yep.
Yeah.
Go
I know
ahead.
there's a couple of approvals that Marnie's going to be looking for that we'll make through this process now. So I'll let you go ahead and update us, Marnie, and then we'll make those approvals.
All right, great, thank you. So we put the RFP out for services from a commissioning agent for MEP commissioning and building envelope commissioning. And yesterday, Jeff Barron received responses from 6 firms. And additionally, we opened the proposals for each. So the numbers ranged from 48,000 to 105,000. The apparent low bidder is a company called IES, which myself, Tom, and Jennifer have worked with quite a bit. I think they're a good company. I've had good experience with them. So tonight, I'm asking the committee to make a motion to approve IES as the commissioning agent in the amount of their bid amount of $48,350 pending a scope review meeting by myself, and I'll also be calling their references. So because their bid is at 48,000, and the next bid, I believe, is 73,000, with the remaining bids pretty close, ranging up to 105. I want to have a scope review meeting with IES to make sure they have a complete scope. But as we need them on board as soon as possible, I'm asking the committee to approve issuing them a contract contingent on the scope review and verification of their references. So does anyone have any questions on the bids received or the commissioning process in general? Anything at all?
Yes, Jeremy.
Yeah, just curious, out of curiosity, why the distance in the bids, do you think?
I don't know. And honestly, I'm eager to meet with IES and make sure they understood that the bid was not just for MEP, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing commissioning. I want to make sure they included commissioning of the building envelope, which is the exterior wall, windows, that kind of thing. That could be an explanation. That could be an explanation, but I can't answer that question at this point, which is why I only want approval contingent on that scope review.
Anyone else? Jeremy, you done? Yes?
Yes, I'm good.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with moving forward, and obviously if it falls apart, then you come back to us, but if it's favorable, then you can move forward, because I think you do want to get them on board as soon as you can, correct?
Correct. And so the committee knows the next lowest bid was from a company called Aramark. They're also a large capable company, although I haven't personally worked with them. Their bid is at $73,351. Keeping in mind our original budget for commissioning was 75,000. So that number is a little more in line with our budget. So if after doing the scope review meeting with IES, I find that they've missed scope, we would go to the next bidder.
Okay. Well, in light of yours, as well as Castle Boozes and Newfield's working with this company, I'm okay moving forward, and we'll put it on the table. If someone would like to move, that we, let's see here, I think I have it. Move to approve IES as the commissioning agent for Anna Reynolds School renovation in the amount of $48,350 pending references.
And a scope review meeting, I'd like to add to that.
And a scope review meeting.
Thank you.
Yep. So if someone would move that, and then I need a seconder.
So moved.
Okay, moved by Ms. Stam and a second by
Second,
Jeremy. Any discussion? Kind of had it already. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, you're all set. Motion passes unanimously. So if there's an issue, get back to us and just send out an email to me even if you are successful with them, and then I can send one out to the committee. Let them know.
Excellent.
that it
Yeah,
works well.
excellent. Thank you.
Yep.
The second item I have is regarding scoping the existing plumbing lines at the school. So Castle Blues, actually the whole team needs to find out if the existing storm and sanitary lines at the school are in a good enough condition for us to reuse, or if they're going to require replacement. So we need that answer as soon as possible so that we can incorporate the findings into the estimate, and KBA can incorporate that into their CD drawings as well. So we had touched base with Lou, who has used plumber. I know I'm going to mispronounce this name, even though I asked
It's
Steve.
Galicchio.
Galicchio. I've been talking with John Galicchio about doing this, scoping the lines. He has recommended that he partner with a company called the Drain Doctor, who has a camera that's more appropriate. I guess it can get down into pipes as small as, I don't know, 2 to 4 inches. So together they're going to be at the school. John will open up the clean out so that the camera can get down there and we can scope all the lines. So we're actually going to go on a T&M basis. John is going to be sending me his hourly rate. He was actually out of town. I think it was all of last week. So I was not able to get the rate for tonight. So what I'd like the committee to consider is approving a not to exceed amount of $7,000 for him to scope the plumbing piping at Anna Reynolds to determine if it's suitable for reuse. And then the work would proceed on a T&M basis according to his hourly rate, which I'll, once I receive that, I'll reach out to Lou and confirm that it's consistent with what we've been charged for their work in the school in the past.
Okay, so again, I entertain a motion to approve a not to exceed amount of $7,000 for Galicchio Brothers to scope the plumbing piping at Anna Reynolds Elementary School to determine if suitable for reuse or requires replacement. And the $7,000 is a not to exceed dollar amount. So someone would move that motion?
I'll move the motion.
Okay, Carol and Jeremy second it? Yes?
Sure. Yes.
Okay. Any discussion? Kind of had it again already. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. I worked with that Drain Doctor guy before. It's very interesting to see that thing. It's kind of amazing how they can go through the pipes, and some of the things you see are a little disgusting, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely worthwhile. We don't want to be under construction and find that we've got a collapsed, sewer line or anything like that. We want to be able to plan for the expense if it's needed now. So thank you, everyone.
Okay, do you have anything else for us, Marnie?
I do not. I'm all set. Thank you.
Okay. Next item is construction managers update. Tom, I think you've kind of already given it to us, unless you've got something else you want to add. This would be your time.
No, we're just, we're getting into the design development documents. We talked about a pre-construction schedule that now that we have the answer about the approvals, we can publish that in the next day or two. And we're digging deeply into the phasing now.
Okay.
That's where we're at.
Anybody have any questions for Tom? No? Any other business pertinent to the committee? I do have one item. In the past, the standing committees for buildings, especially scopes of this magnitude, have given the chair the authority to approve change orders in between meetings. And that amount varies from just a couple $1,000s. So I think I've seen it as high as $15,000, $20,000. And I'm asking that this committee grant me that ability to do that. If and when I do that, I will send an email out to all of you, letting you know what it was for and we had to do it, and we'll eventually come back to the committee final approval, but this keeps the project moving forward. We're going to be in a gray area here for the next, well, we have one more meeting in October, but then before we actually have a quorum, because losing these 3 members, and we could actually lose 4 this week, depending on, where the election turns out. So quorum till meeting November. So there could be a little bit of a delay, and this really, we're at the point now, it's still relatively minor things, but it's getting some small stuff that needs to be done so that our professionals can continue their work on their construction, can meet that spring deadline. So again, if someone will make a motion, I'm comfortable with any amount that you are comfortable with. I would like it to be $20,000, but I'll you.
Okay,
Discuss.
so make a motion that this committee give authority to the chairman of the committee to make minor changes, financial changes up to the amount of $20,000 without our approval or our vote. I don't know exactly what the wording should say.
Just approve change orders up to the amount.
Okay, change. So, to do change orders up to the amount of $20,000.
Motion is made. I need a
Second.
second. Earl, any discussion? Hearing all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, everybody. And again, I will not abuse this, and I will let you know. Actually, sometimes I will let you know before I actually make the decision. I will reach out if I think it's something that I have time, that phone calls or send out a text or an email. I will let you know before I do it. If not, I'll let you know right afterwards. Anything else? Any other business pertinent to the you? You
I
still
have nothing else.
Okay. And we are now back to public participation, and I see there's nobody.
Still nobody with us.
attending. Yeah, nobody's with us. That's by. I guess one thing I'd like to do here is just acknowledge the passing of Officer Camillo's dad. He passed away, I believe, 10 days or so. Don Camillo was a great guy. Ran a business in his town for a long period of time, had a heart of gold. He will be sorely missed. And I send my condolences to the whole Camillo family. And hopefully the joy he brought them will carry them through this difficult time of losing his dad. If nothing else, which I don't think we have, motion to adjourn.
And actually, are we meeting? We're meeting in 2 weeks? Yes.
2 weeks. Well, let's see. I don't have a calendar yet.
Yes, you are scheduled to meet in 2 weeks, which is October 21st.
Yes, Cindy, so the next time. And then you're a free woman as far as the building committee goes.
I know, I'm gonna miss you guys. I had fun. Thanks.
Yeah, and thank you, but I'll save that for the next meeting. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Just as
Okay,
a note on that, Steve, she actually still can meet on the 4th. She's still not.
Oh,
she's
that's
still
true.
official.
Until a replacement's made. You're right.
Correct.
Yeah, I forgot about that. You are right.
That's cool. Great.
We keep,
Is that-
keep the business moving forward.
Yeah,
Exactly.
James,
So-
does that also work for the elected officials?
Yes, because no elected
does.
official will take office for their new term until the 9th.
Oh, the 9th, okay, yeah, you're right. Yep. So then we still can have a meeting on the 4th.
Yep.
Okay. All right, thank you, James.
Well,
And I think we have a motion. I don't know if we actually voted on it yet. So a motion has been made to adjourn. All those in favor? Signify by
Aye.
saying aye.
Aye.
And there's never anybody opposed to that. Good night, everybody. Or actually, I could say good afternoon, I think, everybody.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
5 minutes.
Bye, thank you.
Here, guys.
Hey,
Afternoon.
Bye.
Bye,
Good
everyone.
afternoon.
Good night.
Bye, thank you.
Bye.
Yep, bye-bye.